Greetings. My name is Michael Miller. This is a Michael Miller trademark training video out to you because you're watching. Thank you and welcome. It's meant for Michael Miller Pilates licensed affiliates, the Core New Core, and anyone interested in surviving and thriving as a Pilates instructor. Three things today. After the deluge yesterday, it feels like a relief, and they're not so much deep as it is in passing. Number one are two sentences. Number one is two sentences. And the sentences are, nature is evolution, control is involution. And I can argue with myself before the chorus even shouts out their points of view. My point only is that when movement shows up on the stage of reality, it usually comes out in an expanding spiral. It's expansionary in nature. As well as rotational and non-stable, in that it spirals out. And so the control I'm talking about is like here, insofar as involuting a grip against the expansion that comes naturally. Okay? The phrase get a grip comes from somewhere, and literally it's from getting an involution of what I think is a natural way of looking things as evolutionary or spiraling out, that we seek to control by balancing a tension of spiraling in, getting a grip, controlling the expansion of one spiral by trying to grip into its source. And the shape of the curvature, and knowing that the shell expands upon itself, it doesn't go denser, it's expanding outwards, like the universe. Literally, science points to not only an expanding universe, but a universe that is expanding at an accelerating rate. It's why I think there's that sweet spot in the inhale. That has to do with rate of expansion in its attraction. So number two, what are your filters? And we're always talking about Pilates and how to survive and thrive as a Pilates instructor. And I just got joined up, with all good intentions I'm sure, to a group that seems to focus on a particular lineage of Pilates. And so running into a filter, like they have a filter, or they being this lineage's way of looking at things based upon the person that knew Joe, mine is a lineage that I don't give you that at all. I give you an introduction to a point of view that's right out of Joe's book. And that may not buy you a cup of coffee in the Pilates court, but understanding of it can certainly add to your flavor as a Pilates instructor. Number three, I didn't say number two well. I'm not sure what I meant by that. other than that, and that it's like in the tsunami of Pilates passion, I get hooked up to a group of people that are connected to this network of somebody that knew Joe, and from what I know of that particular network, have a very stylized impression of the method, like we all are or have. And all I could do was make a comment that Michael Miller Pilates is an ideal view with 3 grips, 3 lightnings, and 3 namastes. So I sort of said, that's my filter, but maybe regrettably so, but I let go of the constant notifications. Maybe I should have just turned notifications off. Time is short, and there's so much on the Pilates banquet table. Best one be selective on what one feasts upon. So choose your filters, and at least understand, or my hope is that in this broadcast you get the notion that there's a filter to apply to Joe's original book, and a point of view to come out of that, or maybe the filter is the point of view, one of thousands, millions, wherein there is no authority in the word currently other than traditional heritage. And that maybe will always rule, but as we talked about yesterday, gravity is gravity, and in a lot of ways Pilates is Pilates, and being aware of its essence and its effect and how to counteract it is part of the essence of what Pilates is, because of what gravity is. It's fun to dance with anyone in love with Pilates. And I mean it more metaphorically than I do literally, but literally sort of true too, right? As above, so below, and all that. So number 3, what 2 things do I claim I identify? So that's my question to you. Somebody listened either twice over the last 2 broadcasts here on YouTube, or stumbled upon it. But to you, who's new, wondering what's new for me, probably nothing. But so important that the same thing is what you get, and consistent, and you have control of it. And from me that matters, just the stuff from me, 2 things. The identification of 2 things. This is what I claim to have done. Identified 2 things. Okay, so Michael Miller claims he identified core new tension in the body. And Michael Miller claims he identified the ideal within Joe's original work. Because before me, and still to this day, I don't think anyone is out there professing that Pilates has an essence of its own, that a reasoned argument can be made based on evidence right out of Joe's book. So that's number 3. The 2 things that I claim I identified. Core new tension is straight up biomechanics and has little to nothing to do with, how can I say it that way? Core new tension is about biomechanics in the body, the way the body works and functions to move through space. Now Pilates, and that applies to every human being. It's a biomechanical utilization of the physics the human being finds itself in to facilitate its movement through space. And so just being aware of core new tension, if you never taught Pilates, never met Pilates, never discussed Pilates, and done it and didn't care about it, but are in love with something else, in the way of being a movement instructor, or a teacher of any kind where you're advising on posture and how to find a connection to it sensationally. Core new tension is for everybody. The idea within Joe's work is there if you want to pay any attention to it. And it will be there no matter what kind of ornamentation others drape upon it. Even if there's no awareness or recognition that the tree is there upon which they're hanging ornaments. Right? So Pilates is what it is, has its own structure, and supports all the rest of it, all the ornamentation. So I hope that's clear, because I got complimented on the clarity of my images on my website. Clarity. You can see clearly. And in that regard, there's an easy distinction. And so, I encourage you to go on Google Play and buy Reformer Michael Miller Pilates, because it is the de facto in situ documentation of the Pilates Reformer sequence. And that's $1, I think, maybe $2. Go get that and back it up so you'll always have it. Look at my website, hermit.com, where you can, and see what's there in terms of the pictures. The Reformer pictures all came off of the website. And so in recognizing that, go catch up with what else is on the website that currently is not available in an app. And then from hermit.com, what's new is the connection to my blog. And if my website is a lake, my blog is a stream. And I encourage you to go to what's new and then at the top go back arrow, back arrow, back arrow, back arrow, a lot of ways, so that you can go forward and capture a stream of posts to the blog in the chronological order that they appear in. It'll make more sense, I think. Maybe not. It's a question of clarity. And I can see you coming toward me, wanting to license my images for your training manual, and not taking yourself more seriously than the pictures you seek to have represent what you want to add to. Because life can't live forever. Read between the lines, see behind the curtain, add two and two, direct your thinking. Geist.